Okay, and we're live. Welcome to the Clutch Kick. I'm one of your hosts, EG.
Sound like a robot tonight, mate.
Why?
I
We
don't
don't
know.
have an
You tell
intro. We don't
me.
have. We need an intro song or something.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying for almost 2 years.
I know. Okay, so tonight we have Greg and Stephen, and hopefully another person to call up. Just have a chat about our predictions for World Time Attack. So that's what we'll be talking about this episode.
Yes.
And I think Steve's still trying to work out his sound issues.
Yeah, just these sound issues. Um. Nope. Yeah. So if you get all these random noises, that's Steve playing with his microphone. Uh. Do you want to talk through some FD Japan first?
Okay,
I
yes.
didn't.
Start off with
I
some
didn't catch
news.
much of it, but I
Did
caught
Did
bits
you
and
watch
pieces of
qualifying?
it.
Did you watch
No.
qualifying?
Oh, a little bit, and then I
Okay.
was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah. No, I didn't get a chance to see qualifying on Saturday because I was at another event, which we'll probably talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
FT Japan final round. Matty Hill wasn't there.
All right. We came up with a good story, but ended up being that he had a friend's wedding, so um, he wasn't
Okay.
busted in Singapore for importing drugs. Uh, but yeah, friend's wedding, so he didn't do the last round. Uh, but yeah, I think closest championship they've probably had in FD Japan, and it ended up being Andy Gray and who was the other person in the final?
Yamashita.
Um, both made the final. I think they were 1 and 2 in the championship, and the difference between winning and coming second was enough to split first and second, I believe. So the winner
Yeah.
basically would take the championship.
Yep.
And Yamashita was unable to actually battle, which missed his sort of
That
5 minute.
sucked real bad.
Uh,
Man,
yeah, missed
just
his.
yeah.
Any idea what ended up being the problem?
Um, someone said it was a fuel line fitting, just one of those aluminium ones,
Yeah,
and I don't think it, they either couldn't find the parts, or they couldn't replace that part within that 5 minutes.
that's what electrical tape's for.
Yeah, but then you remember the Kevin Wells, the scrutineer.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it was leaking that bad. Hang on, my mic's falling off. My elastic band is not holding the microphone up properly. Sorry, but yeah. Anyway, so the scrutineer said it wasn't, even though the car could move, it wasn't safe for.
safe.
Yeah, is what I heard, but not from them directly. This is just like other people
Yeah,
saying in comments
yeah.
that was on Facebook. So
So that ended up being Andy Gray third FD Japan Championship in a row, something like that, I think.
yeah, probably.
Um, and then the other event over the weekend, which you judged,
Yep.
there was a
Spawn the
small
challenge.
competition.
Yep.
Yeah, back on figure eight after a year and a half of hiatus of competition on figure eight, and you were head judge, I guess I'd say. Yeah, you were definitely head judge. Um, and I went as a spectator because I wasn't going to make it in time to either drive or help out.
Yep.
Um, I thought overall pretty good event.
It ran a lot smoother than I was kind of expecting.
Yeah, figure eight's
Well,
a
yeah.
figure eight's a fairly easy, not easy place to run from a logistics point of view because the track's small. You can see everything. The pit areas not too bad. But the only problem is the fact that you can't grid cars up on track. You're relying on getting cars on and off track, and that tends to be a massive killer there. But 32 cars, which really strong field
Yeah.
for just a small local event. Heaps of guys came down from Newcastle direction. A lot of the guys who compete at rally came down. So yeah, that was good. And then some guys who have been around a while. Some what would you call them? Some hot boys from Hot Boy from Wollongong came up. Um,
Yep.
that hot boy may or may not have
Would
won the.
agree. Might
Um,
have. I can't remember actually.
yeah,
It wasn't very memorable.
yeah, he didn't spin in the finals this time. So, but yeah, you guys ran a pool system.
Yeah, that was interesting. We had a interesting result from one of the pools where everyone actually had an equal score, but luckily, we had a system for those cases.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
seemed like you judged it really similar to what you'd judge a DCA event. So no,
no, not really, because this is So the idea was this is a beginner comp. We didn't want people.
I mean from the point of view that you weren't handing out zeros for wheels off or spins or whatever. Like the expectation was that runs were to be finished and judged accordingly.
Yeah, I didn't do zeros. I actually do zeros sometimes at DCA, but this one, no, this is a bit different just because of the
Nature of
idea,
the event.
nature.
Nature.
Yeah, the actual, like the goal, like I guess, like what they wanted to do was introduce people into a drifting competition, and so then we changed the criteria accordingly. So
Yeah.
a bit softer, a bit more generous.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
which is fair. Like there was a huge sort of spectrum of levels of driving
yeah,
and experience. So uh, yeah, I think it was handled well. I think again, the only shit that I've really spoken about that event is the venue and the lack of time and access to the venue. I think that's what holds an event like that up. Really makes it harder to get. Because I think everybody who drove was more than capable of doing well. I think a lack of
yeah,
time to get settled before they had to compete, and I think a lack of time to be able to get feedback from judges and stuff like that also didn't help.
yeah. It's interesting about feedback because I wish there was a better system to supply that. It was kind of good having the mentors there because you can sort of give a general gist to the mentors and they can sort of interpret it a lot quicker and easier because most of those guys have experience, and then you can just sort of give them like shorthand information they can
Yeah.
relate back to their team members, and then instead of trying to explain to those a lot of them are pretty fresh, so trying to explain some of the things a bit more clearer takes a bit more time, which you don't really have during a competition.
Well, and
Um,
just a comp that's that short. Like it's just you got to pump through it. So makes it you could tell it made it fairly difficult, and you could tell the dudes who sort of got it and stuck to the criteria than guys who get into that mode of so busy trying to catch up to the lead car when the lead car had flown off the start line and just
yeah,
put 5 cars on them, when I think you guys were probably more than happy for them to sit 5 cars back as long as they maintained that gap and drove smoothly. They would have been scored equally, but instead they sort of semi-fucked themselves by trying to catch up and do all that sort of stuff. But that's yeah, a little lack of experience, and then just not getting enough feedback quick enough.
no, yeah,
Um,
it was hard. Hopefully those guys did make some. Oh, sorry, they get some ideas from that event and actually gain some knowledge for the next competition, especially in regards to like spotters and coming to the judges, because even though as with most events, we say just come up and have a chat with us if you can, just not during the competition, but just like outside of
Yeah.
the comp time, and just if you need clarification, come up, and then we'll help out because we want to. It's like a show, so we want them to drive a particular way, so then it makes it entertaining, and then if they can do the right thing, then everything sort of works a lot smoother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So event ended up being taken out by Jai from Curse Sundays.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Drove really well, and I think in the sort of the top 8, once he had made it through the pool rounds, he was one of the few people that was sort of nailing the clips, which magically appeared for top 8. But yeah, I think probably the only person that really drove them. I think the guy that he versed in the final, you'd have his name. I can't remember the guy's
Ben
name.
Matthews. Yep.
Was overall driving fairly well, and then potatoed it in the final. He was a bit slow in his top 4 battle, but he, from what I saw, he nailed all the criteria. And sadly, Brian, who he went up against, who was a good driver and probably should have been against Jai in the finals, just sort of cut through most of the clips and missed a whole bunch of that trying to get around the track quickly. So, I just think the fast format of figure 8 is good from a experienced competition point of view for guys who know what they're doing, and the criteria is always fairly similar. But from guys who aren't that experienced, it's a difficult format just because it's so fast and everything's happening and there's barely enough time to get information back. Cars get super hot, especially once you get later into the battles and they've got to happen back to back, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully, if more is to happen, hopefully there's some other tracks that are used now that we're getting more and more stuff become available not too far from Sydney, or we can score some daytimes or something for figure 8, because you really do need those 32 cars to actually make enough money to pay for the event, because Sydney Motorsport Park still doesn't use the lube.
Yeah, and just like all the other information I heard about other events, like South Circuit and North Circuit events, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah. So, it was, I thought overall good event, good vibes. I think having the mentor system worked well for the guys who had mentors that actually took notes and did all that. If you had the mentor who ended up winning the event, he was busy eating, and I'm going to talk shit on Billick because I can and I don't care. But I'm really proud of Billick for finally winning a competition.
He's not listening, so it's all right.
No, that's right. I said it to his face on the night, so.
Okay.
But yeah, well done to Flash and Louise on making that event happen. So, and then EG for stepping up and getting it actually through the night. So
the competition, it was there was a lot of things that that could be improved on. It was good to have Ben there to help out as well. So because Flash was judging, and I think he loaded himself up a little bit too much with too many jobs, but it's all a learning experience. Part of it is it's his first competition that is organised, and he's trying to. He has his own ideas, which he's trying to put into place, and giving advice to say you're loading yourself up with too much work. He just kind of needs to understand, and it's not. I mean, because myself and Ben were there, we could take a lot of the load for the judging, but it's a little bit unfair for the drivers in that sort of view, where the drivers aren't getting the full attention that they should. So
no, I agree. Like I sort of hit the same sort of things with Super Drift, where I was able to judge the first round. Then I really wanted to drive because I'd helped make it all happen and we're low on numbers. And then the last round where I decided not to drive, we just ran it with the 2 judges, and I ended up sort of running some admin roles and stuff because there's just so much going on, and if you don't have enough hands in the right places, you're better off having 1 or 2 good judges and everybody else sort of staying out of the way and just making things run smoothly. Because I think the event is more important than at that level. Most of the time, the battles almost sort themselves out in some ways. So, except for when you end up with a win, loss, and a draw, and a pool of 4, and every every driver's done that. So
yeah, that was fun.
Made your lives a little bit more difficult.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, I guess we wait and see. Flash seems super keen on making events happen, so we'll wait and see if anything more comes of that. But I guess at this stage, just wait and see. But it seemed to go off as what I would call a success.
Yeah.
Overall.
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it was good. What he was aiming for with the beginners was cool. I think I spoke to Flash at the end of the night and said, it was good that I was there. I'm kind of keen to see
what more can be made of it.
Well, just like if they do another one, sort of get someone like Dan Mackey in, and then get him to put his sort of beginner take on it, from his, because his style of judging is different to mine. So if he can sort of educate the beginners in that style of competition, like the ones that he sort of runs, then you'll get the drivers and competitors will get a lot of experience between 2 different types of competition.
Yeah, and from the murmurs that I heard, Dan's fairly keen on trying to help anybody who's willing to try and get some sort of feeder going within the Greater Sydney area, or not too far from here, rather than guys having to go up to Coffs Harbour for that, to try and have something that's a bit of a stepping stone between just doing track days to stepping into something like a Drift All Stars. So, because I think that's definitely been lacking since nothing's been going on comp wise in this sort of region.
No.
You've really got it, and like, that's not talking shit on rally. It's more just you can't even get a taste without it being a massive expedition.
Yep.
And I think that's the sort of the big issue. Yeah, that sort of thing, people just sort of dipping their toe in, is hard to gauge numbers because of that sort of thing. But I think, not many people are going to be super willing super early in their drifting to be like, oh, I'm going to do, a 12-hour round trip of driving to go to this comp that I've got no idea what comps are actually like. So having something at least every so often close by sort of helps drive people towards that. So we'll wait and see what more comes of it. Hopefully more comes of it.
I think having an event like this, where people can get, like you said, a taste of competition drifting, it'll actually get people to go to places like Raleigh, and then because then they'll be like, okay, I get it. So I've got a little bit of confidence, because say you're from Sydney, maybe it's an hour drive, an hour and a half maybe from around the Sydney area.
Yeah.
And then you can go there, get a bit of a taste, have a bit more confidence, so you can travel. However long it takes from Sydney to Coffs Harbour.
About 6 hours.
6 hours.
If you're on,
then and then that way, you probably see more competitors up at Raleigh, and they'll be better too, because they'll have experience. They won't be fresh, and everyone sort of levels up.
Yeah. So, we wait and we see. I guess the other event that was announced early in the week or over the weekend, and then more details have dropped today, is Tour de Rev.
Yeah.
So
sounds like
we've known about this one for quite a while. It's just a matter of once Pheasant Wood Circuit was across the line that they could make it public.
It's gone.
Oops, Steve's busy playing with his thing.
Which thing are we talking about?
Well, Jesus, that sounds shady as hell.
Is that any better?
So yeah, Tour de Rev, first day, which was already booked and on Revolution Motorsports calendar, was Wakefield, and then on the 1st of December, Pheasant Wood Circuit, so just up the road. I think they're looking at doing something social on the Saturday night, and I think those boys will let people know where they're staying and what the plans are and all that to try and cut down on costs and try and keep everybody together and make it fairly warm and inviting. Cost is cheap. Like we knew the event was going to happen, but we didn't know how cheap it was going to be. And at $350 for the 2 days, especially in New South Wales, considering track hire is fairly ridiculous. For those two quality of circuits, yeah.
Yep, it's very good value. I don't know which car I'm going to take.
Why not both?
Because I can only put one car in the trailer. I had a
Steve, shut up, mate.
If I had a double-decker trailer, then maybe, or even like a trailer that would carry 2 cars.
Yeah, I saw a gooseneck one come up for sale that fits 2 cars, and I was like, ooh, that's interesting. But Jai said bring the comp car. Steve, that fan thing is so annoying, mate.
I think that's not the fan. That's just ambient noise.
He's got a lot of ambient noise.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this stage, the sort of the entries are open. Send messages directly to the Revolution Motorsport Facebook page. I think because of the little incident that they had last time, they are being a little bit selective about who they're letting in at this stage. I think they're trying to set up more days that are based around people's skill levels and things like that. And so yeah, just send through an expression of interest, and those guys will look through it and then decide whether or not I think they're willing to take the risk for certain people to be on that track. I think that's really what it comes down to. And I know they've been tossing up whether or not to make half cages mandatory and things like that. So I think they're sort of trying to protect themselves and being allowed to have the events moving forward after the little rollover and a few other incidences. So yeah, just send their expressions of interest and wait to hear back from those guys. But yeah, overall exciting times, and I think if that sort of event gets really big and gets heaps of interest, then that sort of thing will happen more often, and it will probably be a little less selective. But even 80 cars, like, they're not going to be crazy selective, because is there more than 80 cars in sort of, I don't know, that are actually running at the moment? And I know there are guys from interstate and stuff like that who are interested in coming, but
yeah,
I think you'll find I think you'll find with 80 cars that there shouldn't be too many people missing out, unless the guys are worried that they're super green and should probably do the beginner day or do just a Wakefield day or something first. So yeah,
I think it'll be a good event, but definitely get your entries in early so you don't miss out.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was trying to say, like, put your entry in early, but don't necessarily expect that as a guaranteed
no,
a guaranteed entry.
But yeah, well, no, I think it's through application. But say they get,
but not like
applicable.
but not like a halfway hangs style application where it's about what your car looks like and all that. It's just more them sort of covering their neck when it comes to people rolling cars and things like that.
Have you seen the latest application
for halfway hangs?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you enter?
Connor commented on it, so it came up in my feed.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he wants more front. Well, he wants a front wheel drive team to enter. Anyway, so I clicked on the on the link, and so it's a team's entry now. So you need to have a car team, and it has to be an existing car team. It can't be one that you've thrown together. So it has to be established.
Yeah, fair enough. So we could go. Because we've been clutch kick for almost 2 years.
Yeah, we can try, but that's only two of us. It's a 3-car team.
You have 3 cars.
Yeah, 2 drivers though,
Yeah, that's all right.
and me.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, keep an eye on that stuff. Yeah, get your entries in, especially if you're from interstate. Hit them up. And they're also talking about the fact that their calendar for next year will potentially be out soon. So sorry, we're dealing with Steve's technical issues in the background. Everybody's probably like, "Why is this weird dude just sitting here?" Like,
We'll just get him on.
but
on
we
the,
can
on,
just
on
wait.
the
We can
speaker.
hear
That'd
you
be fine.
when you laughed. We could hear you. Well, and now we see your pussy. That's just weird.
Okay,
All right.
we can just put him on
Is
speaker. Like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Just
we
do
can
that
hear.
every time you want to talk,
All right.
Yeah, yeah. There's that.
I'm just
and
gonna
then
connect,
turn yourself off
I'm
because
just
you're
gonna
annoying.
connect Jake in. Hang on a sec.
All right. So we're about to do our same as what we did last year, where we went through and did our predictions for World Time Attack Challenge. We're connecting Jake O'Mara, who's currently Australia's best drifter. Sadly, he had his invitation for World Time Attack got lost in the mail. Jesus.
Oh, he's got his Oh no.
What?
How do I get this view?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Oh wow, this is the first time I've had 4 people on the screen. It's not very nice. it's like oh, okay, never mind. Don't worry, you can see it.
Just play yourself in the middle, mate.
In the middle. Okay, hang on a sec. There you go.
So are you keeping record on your spreadsheet of who we predict?
Okay, yeah, hang on. So maybe do you want to? How do you want to go about this?
Yeah, we'll go through each group and do a quick rundown and then go from there.
Okay, so all right. World Time Attack is next week. I'm just gonna bring up the Excel spreadsheet so people can see it.
Yeah, so World Time Attack Challenge next weekend on South Circuit, Friday and Saturday at the end of each day of World Time Attack Challenge. Last year we did a little prediction chart because they're using the pool system again. This year's a little bit different to last year. Last year was 8 pools, 4 drivers in each pool. Only 1 driver from each pool made it through, and then they just ran a top 8 using those drivers. I think last year it was myself, EG, Steve, and who was the other person? Blake.
Yeah.
We had to do the predictions, and I'm pretty sure I came out on top with flying colours.
You did, yeah.
So defending champion motherfuckers, and so we're going to do the same this year, but this year's format
Just because I like going for the underdog, that's about all.
You're like, it's a Ford, I should go for it. And so
Jake's a Ford man too. Actually, you're a Holden guy, aren't you, Greg?
Yeah. Well, does that company even exist anymore? So this year's a little bit different. They're doing, as you can see on EG's chart, but if you're listening to it, they're doing 5 drivers per pool, and they are taking 2 from each pool and then doing a top 16 this year rather than a top 8. So that should add a whole bunch more driving, which is good. I thought last year's format was a little bit too short, and I think even the event organisers ended up feeling that way about it. So this year they've added a bunch more driving, which is really good. Are you pretty much ready to go, EG?
Yeah. Good to
So
go.
you're gonna have to help me with some of the
You can't read it.
Chinese names and stuff. Well, there's Chinese and Japanese that are later on. The early ones
Oh.
I'm all good with.
Steve's more related to Chinese than I am.
Whatever, but like I'm just too white for that shit. So pool 1 or pool A, as drawn last week, Ben Jenkins from New Zealand, Finney O'Hare, who is flying the Irish flag but is from Victoria, John Dreyer, Matty Hill, and Aaron Diwa. And so Ben will be driving his GT86. Finney will be driving his S15 Fluoro S15. John Dreyer will be driving.
Are you looking it up as you're reading them out?
Nah, I just got a message
Yes.
from last weekend's drift winner asking how he gets in to World Time
the
Attack
show?
Challenge.
Oh.
No, into World Time Attack Challenge. I believe Matty Hill will be driving Rob White's original 350Z, the car that's now owned by his brother Damien, but I might be wrong and his S15 might be back in Australia, but I know the original plan was the 350, but I know that the yellow 15's been put in a shipping container to come back, and then Aaron will be driving his big NA powered S14. I'll probably let everybody else predict first, and then I'll go last.
Okay. We'll start off with Steve first.
Steve's gonna potato this. He doesn't know anybody in this
Yeah,
group.
but then he has the better chance because
Yeah, that's fair.
he was last time. So yeah, we'll put him first.
Is John going to be driving the Datsun?
Yeah, of course.
He's been doing some pretty cool things with that.
So remember, you're picking 2 cars.
2 cars.
Yeah.
Two cars.
Yeah, well, you've got to pick the 2 people who are going to make it through.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Look,
do like a first and second of the 2 cars.
What?
Ooh. Let's just go with 2 cars. You're making it complicated, EG.
No. Just pick which one you think would win and which one comes second.
All right. Unfortunately,
There's no first and second because it might end up being a draw in that group. Just pick 2 cars and then we can do an overall 1, 2, 3 at the end of the event. At the end. EG, stop changing the rules to the game.
All right, fine, go.
All right. Look, I'm always the fan of the underdog, and I've seen John Dreyer do some really cool stuff in that Datsun. So he's definitely one of my. You don't reckon?
No way.
Hey, this is Steve's prediction. Shut the fuck up.
Go.
Well, look. Put it in the view of your World Time Attack viewers. They're going to see all these really high spec cars like Matty Hill's and Ben Jenkins' car and stuff like that, and then they're going to see a blue and white Datsun. Tell me who you think is going to be the underdog there. So, look, he's been around since Oran Park days.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I remember him in his ute.
Yeah. So he's he's definitely up there for me on that one. And for the second, I'd have to pick between Finney and Aaron, but I'm gonna go Finney.
Oh, Jesus,
Wow.
you're rough, mate. Fair enough. So who'd you go with, Aaron?
No, Finney. I'm gonna go for
Okay.
Finney and John.
Oh, all right.
Cool.
He's gone for all the Mexicans. All right, Jake,
Alright,
you're
I'll
up.
go. So I'm gonna stick with 8-6, fellow 8-6 owner here and go Ben.
I think that's very fair.
No reason
Um,
in particular, just
and then
he's got an 8.6.
yeah, that's all.
Okay.
No, he does some cool driving. I've seen some cool videos out of NZ with him in it, him and his
Yeah.
brother. So I reckon Ben, and it'll be a toss up between Maddie and Aaron, just because Dua will smoke everyone out. So I'll probably go Dua for my second pick. His driving's gotten a lot
are we
better in
doing
the last
1,
couple
2?
of years from when I first saw him.
I might just do this. It's gonna work. Yes, it's gonna work.
Why don't you just put us all in the same thing and just put our initials?
I'll be right. I left the space for it.
All right.
Okay.
Did you get who he's put his? Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So, your turn, EG.
My turn. Ooh, I'm a big fan of John. So, John, ever since I saw him at Wakefield in that Datsun, his driving is cool. So I'm not too sure. I'm hoping that his style will actually get him across the line and get him through the pools. So that's who I would pick. I think it's more so because I'm a fan. Number 2, it's for me, it's a toss up between Ben Jenkins and Dura. So Dura was really cool when I watched him at Wakefield. He was very aggressive, and his car, I think, meets what's required for World Time Attack. I'm kind of leaning more towards him than Ben Jenkins. Jenkins I've seen at some D1NZ video clips. Didn't actually watch most of the competition live, but anything I've seen, of course it's cut down, but he has had some really cool driving in there. But I think I'd probably go with Aaron just because I've seen him in person and his one sort of stands out more so. Finney, I'm not really that keen on. His car seems fast and it's not really very sort of on entry. I don't think it has much angle, so that's what I think he needs to work on. Rest of the course will probably fly up the hill. Matty just hasn't had much luck this year, so I'm just going on that sort of thing. Maybe he might be the dark horse, I think, out of the whole group there. So that's what I've got. I'll just mark that down.
Oh,
All right, Greg.
no love for Maddie in our predictions so far. So, Steve, are you serious? You don't know what course they're running? They're running South Circuit.
I just would have thought they would have changed it up. It's such a basic
change it up.
circuit for drifting.
They changed it up because they used to be north.
Well, yeah. I'll talk about my predictions for the overall event after.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
So, we're getting some messages directly through calling you out for your PC answers, EG.
PC answers.
Yeah, you're giving politically correct answers. They're a bit upset.
Really?
The public, yeah, they want you to be EG, not a bitch.
Oh.
So.
I need to be more harder on Finney.
No,
Maybe.
just
I don't know.
So before I give my predictions, I'll just go quick brief. Ben Jenkins over the last couple of years started absolutely killing it. Drove really well in his S13, and I think he ended up transitioning very well into the GT86. Definitely going to do well. Finney, guy can be really, really good, and then also can be really, really off. All depends on which Finney shows up and what sort of car dramas he has. John Dreyer will definitely, should the car work well, annoy the shit out of a whole bunch of people, which would be really good to see in that car. Matty Hill, as EG said, hasn't had a great amount of luck in the last 12 months, but then drove really well last year. And that car, the yellow car seems to work best for him. So, again, this pool I think will be one of the harder ones to see where it'll end up. And then Aaron's just been going from strength to strength. And again, depending on which Aaron shows up on the day, the car always works. Just comes down to whether or not Aaron's actually, right on it and doesn't end up damaging the car or something like that. So for me, I will go Ben Jenkins number 1. And probably John as my number 2. Well, not probably. I'll go for John as my number 2. I think the little light car on small tires will probably actually suit that track really well. But depending on how the run up's done, that could actually hurt him really badly. And all other 4 cars in that group will absolutely destroy him to pieces. But if the run up is fair, I think John's actually going to do really, really well at that track because, yeah. And it's the only car not on Wisefab in that group.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that'll be an advantage in some ways into the first corner because the car
I think
won't.
he drives the coolest too in that group.
Yeah, the car won't get stuck on funny lock because that first corner and first transition's a bit whack. So, all right, that's the predictions on that group. Next group, and we shouldn't talk too much shit because Matt Harvey's actually watching. So Pool B will be Matt Harvey from Tasmania, and he will be second competition driving I think it's only his second competition driving the 2J
I think
S13.
So. Yeah. The
and
first one was Teeter, I think.
yeah,
Teeter,
and it's going to be his first competition without dramas in that car. Andy Gray, who's bringing across one of his JZX 100s.
Yeah, Chaser.
Nakamura, who's going to be in the same 2J S15 that he was last year. Hopefully he's wearing seatbelts this time. I don't know if he did it last World Time Attack, but I just see all his videos and he's not wearing belts.
No, he's
Levi,
wearing the standard seatbelt.
is he really? No, he's not. I'm like,
You just can't see it. You just can't see it.
Levi Clark in his V8 S13. Yeah, V8 Turbo S13. And then Kelly Wong in her, I don't even know what's in it, RB25 Zafiro? I would imagine it's an RB25 Zafiro. Before we go on with that, on my comments about saying I think the small tyres will work sort of better for that track, I more mean from the fact that for John's car, the fact that he can pretty much stay on the power the whole way up will probably actually be an advantage for him rather than going too much grip and struggling to actually get wheel spin and do all that stuff up the track. Chembury's shown that an SR can get up that track pretty well. So, yeah. Grip will
I've done that track on a small tire as well.
Yeah, it's just slow, but
I kept up with Daigo, if that means anything.
depends on which car and on what tires he was running.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, it really is being able to maintain grip up that hill. I know what Luke's talking about because, yeah, if you don't have much grip, you're crawling up that hill. So I still think John will do good. All right, Jake, you can go first on this pool.
Oof. All right, so after watching Matt Harvey drive at Teeter and watching his testing videos at where was that at? Just in Tassie.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm gonna put him down as my second choice.
Ooh,
And
controversial.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say your name first, and then you're gonna be my second pick.
And then
Yeah.
your second
Well,
choice.
yeah. Well, the first choice has to be between Andy and Nakamura, just
Why?
because they're on those massive cheetah tire bloody Valinos that they're gonna bring over. So, ooh. I reckon I'll go Nakamura as my first choice, just because I like S15s better than JZXs. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah,
Nothing
done.
to do with driving history. I just like it. I like the car. That's it.
Nah,
Just like the first
Yeah.
ball. I like 8.6s.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do a Steve. Just do. He does the underdog. I do what cars I like.
All right, Steve, off you go.
Look, I got bitten by this last time, and I'm not gonna fall for that as well. Like after watching him last time, I gotta put Naka as my first one, as Nakamura as my first. And then between Matt Harvey and Andy Gray is gonna be interesting. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Matt in his new car yet, so I don't know. How did he look in up at Teeter? Like, would he look nice and confident in it?
You clearly don't listen to the show, but he sounds like he's a fucking weapon. So,
Yeah. Well, when the gearbox and clutch is working.
oh, and even the video from Tassie, him coming around the bottom
Yeah.
sweeper and then up over the crest is just, it's just magic.
Yeah.
God, that's a hard one. I
Really cool.
This group is one of those groups that just really sucks to try and choose because even somebody like Kelly she's driven that track a bunch of times is enough to be annoying to people and just go out there and upset people. So
Yeah. Last time when I think I watched her there, she didn't do very well.
okay,
and
but
yeah, and look, I like Levi Clark's driving, but I know I've seen and witnessed. If you tell Matt Harvey to do something, he'll just do it. So I am by a hair. I'm going to put him above Andy.
Okay.
So that's going to be mine too.
Good choice.
all right, EG.
Me? Fuck Matt Harvey. I'm not going to pick him again. Every time it disappoints me. So no, Matt Harvey's out straight away. No.
We still love Matt.
No Matt Harvey. Andy just won the championship. His cars are crazy. The standard, the power, like everything is just. If I had unlimited money, I'd probably buy a car from him. So, Nakamura.
Yeah, no one knows JZX is like he does. Like that
Yeah.
is yeah.
Nakamura is another crazy in a different way. He's just driving is insane. So I'm surprised at the cars he has, how they're built, actually keeps up with him, so they don't break down. Like I'm surprised they last the whole event after he's had his hands on them because he's so aggressive. He smashing other cars. He just like it looks like he's on right on his limit without going over it. So yeah, I just just because of that, for me in this group, the toss up will be between those two. I don't really know Levi Clark. I think he hangs out mainly in Queensland and not really much in.
He did well last year, dipshit.
Yeah, but that's it. Like he just did well once. That's all I've seen.
No, he didn't. EG doesn't get out much.
Oh, I don't.
I'm pretty sure he came on the podium at the last round of High Tech and
that
probably
doesn't
should have been a
count.
little bit higher too.
Yeah.
He is a fairly consistent driver, yeah. Like
Yeah, but I don't
like
see
he
that.
always look
All
at
right,
Nard.
just give us your predictions, EG, and fuck off.
And Kelly, I haven't seen in a while as well. I think the last time I remember her drifting is when she came to DCA like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. It was a while ago.
All right, so what are you
down
predicting,
at the bend, right?
I've got Andy Gray as 1.
Yep.
And Nakamura as 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Matt's been driving like a man possessed lately. Again, car drama has been letting him down, and then just Matt being Matt sometimes just turns into Matt things, and then Matt does Matt, and
You sure it's not the spotter's fault?
Matt just
I
ends up.
think it's the spotter's fault.
Yeah, probably. But new car looks sick, and I know he's been driving an absolute shit ton between his new street car and playing on Assetto Corsa. Andy Gray, just off the back of championship, has driven South Circuit a couple of times, I'm pretty sure now. Because I think he did the opening day thing, plus I think FD Asia a couple of years ago. Nakamura is going to do Nakamura things. Sadly, there's probably going to be a car written off because of Nakamura. Levi's been driving really, really well, as much as EG doesn't think he exists. And I think Kelly ended up has only driven
Actually, yeah, I haven't seen. I haven't seen it. Like even Drift Masters, I haven't seen a coverage sort of thing for that yet.
And then Kelly, I think, has done a few events in the
She
last
did
year and has started doing well with some of the
SA.
local SA stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely not out of the picture in that group for sure. I'm gonna go. I'm actually going to say that Nakamura is actually going to hit somebody and get himself knocked out of the competition, or do something stupid.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Matt Harvey and Andy Gray.
So Matt Harvey won.
Well, I don't think the ones and twos matter, but yeah,
Okay, I'm just gonna write one.
put
They
one on
do
Matt.
matter,
And
Greg.
it may be in EG's mind. I can just see
I'll make up a
Nakamura
scoring
doing.
system later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just see Nakamura doing something within that group that will either damage his car, damage another car, and hopefully the judges make the right call around that. I know there's been some comments in the comment section about taking judging into account, but I think we'll touch on that stuff. Well, we should probably actually touch on it soon. But yeah, I think that group will be super unpredictable. Yeah, we'll quickly touch on some of the judging stuff. I'm still not sure who's judging. I know Dan Mackey is, and then I would imagine Suchi is judging, but I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if they're bringing Brendan back
Lame.
across again. But
Did you say lame?
Yeah.
can we
Eight
mute-
6 dude. He's like your
Yep.
senpai.
can we mute Steve? Like keep it somewhat PC. I think the hardest
No,
part with
I
South
think
Suchi is that
everyone
is-
knows that my opinion about Suchi as well.
yeah. Suchi just does random shit. Like I've told a couple of the guys that we're mates with just to try and do backies because if it looks cool, Suchi is going to give you the win, even if it fucks up the chase car. But they're doing a really long run up. Hopefully, they've got something in play to slow down the lead car, or else it just turns into a grip race. And my prediction of John goes way out the window. But to me, and you guys can interject if you don't agree, I think the entry and then the first transition is going to make or break battles, pretty much. And depending on the line that they set through turn one, will either completely shut the door on a chase or make for a good chase. And if they don't actually come down harsh enough on a shit lead line through turn one, then the battles are basically redundant. There's pointless even chasing because it's got that massive V8 supercar style bump through the middle of turn one, so you can't, unless you want to grind your sump off, then you can't actually cut the line to stay on door if the lead car chops you. So if
Unless you just run 4x4 spec and be a mad cunt.
even then, I'm not even sure. I think you'd actually need to put in some like aluminium spacers to get enough travel out of any coilover to like. I think even your car at full height would probably need some spacers to not rip the sump on that curbing. So yeah, I think battles will be won and lost on turn one and the first transition, and everything else is sort of a formality after that. And I just hope that if lead cars are doing a shit job, that it's actually, in sort of agreeance. Hence why I like North
I had
Circuit.
a little bit of a chat. Yeah, had a little bit of a chat with Mackie, and he's trying to work things out with Suchiya, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, Mackie can make this work perfect. Dan Mackie works in a bottle shop industry. All he's got to do is show up with a couple of cases, feed them to him throughout the day, have Suchiya fall asleep underneath the judging stand, and then it will work. Simple as that. So yeah, I think we all understand that, and yeah, I think we all agree with Mitch a little bit in the comments. Pool C, Adam Monk in his S14. I believe he sold. Correct me if I'm wrong. He had the twin turbo car, but I think it's now a slightly less horsepower car, but this one was more built around running 235 street tires.
Used to be the old Newlon sponsored thing, right? With the big twin turbos, yeah.
Yeah, but he built a second car which was like more designed for street tires, which I think is the car that went to Teeter, and I believe he'll probably bring that one across again. But look, by no means is it sluggish or anything like that. It's still making an absolute shitload of power. I think he just changed the way the weight distribution and stuff was.
Did you say this is the same car or a different car?
No, it's a different car, but I'm pretty sure it's the same car that went to Teeter.
A few years ago.
Yeah, not last year, the year before. They're both S14s, but
okay, so they're both pretty much the same.
Yeah, just the
V8,
weight distribution and stuff. Yeah, weight
turbo?
distribution's a bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but just
Okay.
I think the size of the turbo and all that sort of stuff's a little bit different. But I still think it's definitely a more than capable car. Then Andy Worth from Queensland in his LS powered AE86. I'm not sure he'll get any votes from Steve because he's put the wrong motor in that car. Jake Jones, who I would imagine via social media is bringing his BMW, but we can all hope that. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to sound like a massive dick. I was going to say we could all hope that.
Do you want me to say it for you then?
I was going to say we can all hope that the BMW breaks before he leaves South Australia, and then he brings the S13 because he's driving
that's a good
fucking.
one. Yeah.
He's driving like a fucking legend at the moment in the the 13, and wherever he goes in the 13, he's doing really well. But I know he'll want the RBM3 there for. Andy Worth isn't in his 8.6. What's he in?
Well, that's
Tell
what
me.
it says on the World Time Attack page. Well, it's a picture anyway.
Yeah. Correct us.
We'll have to
Shane
wait a
Van
little while.
Gisbergen.
Yeah.
Oh, he's driving the Valino car from last year. Why did I see that picture on another car?
Isn't
another
that
driver.
Mickey? Oh, the cream Valino car.
Oh, now this has thrown a spanner in the works, hasn't it? Is Mickey the chick?
Yeah.
No, she's had a different car
like
built for her. Yeah, she's had something.
S13, isn't it?
Yeah, she's just had something built for her. That the Running Hearts guys did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh no, so yeah, it must be in that. That must have been the picture I saw.
So which
That I can't
a beige.
find. It was the one that It was the one that Connor ended up jumping into.
Was that another one? No, it's another one. The pole parlor dude. Connor jumped in his car, but that broke, didn't it?
Yeah. No.
Changed cars twice.
It was one that was on. Jesus, it was the one that was on display originally. Oh no, Andy Worth. Yeah, it's got the picture of that. EG is telling us lies, mate.
Me?
Yeah, it's all you.
All right. Whatever.
So yeah, I was wrong. Andy's in a Valino backed 180 that was Connor was driving last year, so I'm not sure how much is actually driven that. And then who else in that? Shane Van Gisbergen's driving the MCA 370.
Oh, 370. Sorry.
370 again. And then Troy Jenkins is driving the sister car, well, the older sister car to Ben Jenkins 8.6. So basically, I think identical car to what Ben's driving. All right, Steve, you can go first.
I don't know. This is a bit of a hard one. Well, Andy's sort of lost my vote already because he's not in the 8.6. So yeah. You guys have pretty much said everything that needs to be said, I think, about certain people on there. But I I really don't have much to say about this pool. I'm just going to put the last two, the actual two internationals, going to go Van Gisbergen and Troy Jenkins. Yeah, just I only think just Gisbergen and the Z is just going to be an interesting one to see whether they are a good match, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be my two picks, short and sweet for you.
Cool. Jake, you want to go?
Ooh. Oh, I don't know the first two guys, so I can't go with them.
Yeah, that's going to be my problem.
Really?
No.
Andy's been at
Oh, actually,
Andy's
no.
been
I've seen
Eastern
it.
Creek a couple of times.
No, Adam Monk has as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't. They're like one of those guys where I only see them at World Time Attack.
Yeah, well, because Adam's from the other side of the country.
That doesn't matter. You can still put out videos and send out content and like promote yourself on all the stupid Facebook groups that are out there.
Yeah, Connor.
How many Western Australian groups are you in, by the way?
2.
Yeah, I think I'm in 2.
You don't see him in those? That just sort of ruined my argument. All right. Anyway, pick your stuff.
I haven't seen any of the video yet from Jake's, like the shorts he's been putting out of him driving in the Barossa Valley.
Yep.
Shane, I don't think he's been doing very much drifting.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see how he jumps back into the MCA car. And then Troy and Ben are pretty much the same person. So
yeah.
I have to go Troy as my first pick. And my second pick, Jake did pretty good last year, I thought. So I'll go Jake. Jake's got to stick together.
Same name.
All right, EG, you're up.
Man, this is like again, all these guys, I don't really know. Like, as far as I've seen, same amount of drifting. Like, Jake Jones has done a bit more than the others in my eyes, but
No, Troy did a full season of D1NZ, you
yeah,
dipshit.
but I never watched it.
No, I understand that, but like in your eyes, you need to like be educated about it and be like, oh, he's been driving all of D1NZ.
Yeah, but I haven't watched it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
In my experience, that I haven't seen these guys. I think if Jake Jones could bring his other car, he'll be heaps better. I think he's so much more comfortable in that car than the BMW. Like, I think the BMW is holding him back.
So do you take a gamble on him and say I'm going to pick him and hope that the BMW doesn't make it?
Jake won't.
He'll bring the BMW no matter what.
He'll definitely bring the BMW. He'll make sure it's running. He'll bring the BMW, and that's where I think he's just not comfortable in that car.
Yeah.
So, kind of sucks, but once he gets past, I don't know if it's like a problem with the car or like a mental thing or car setup.
I think it's just heavier and the car setup's different.
Yeah, it's just not. Just doesn't really fit with his driving. So I wouldn't pick. It's hard for me to pick.
Come
Adam
on, mate. Just pick
Andy
just
because
pick some people.
I don't know them. Troy's probably the most I've seen, so I'd probably like the other guys pick him as number 1.
Yep.
My first pick. Second. Oh, could be any one of them. I reckon. Oh, just let me have a quick look. Let's see. Andy Worth.
Fuck. Hurry up, mate. Nah, you gotta come on, get it going, mate.
Yeah.
While EG does his digressing
brain fart.
I'm gonna go. Actually,
Timmy...
no. I'm gonna go with Andy Worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've gone with Troy and Andy.
Troy and Andy, because he's
Just
got the
because.
Velinos with the cheetah tires that Jake mentioned before.
All right. Timmy in the comments mentioned that Shane should bring the V8 supercar drift thing. That car actually was like a Bathurst winning car or a Jamie Whincup winning championship car or something like that. I know through some circuit race guys, and straight after that shoot, all those custom parts were pulled off and it was turned back to race spec, and somebody bought it and put it in a car collection somewhere. So yeah, sadly that doesn't exist anymore, and that was purely
that
a
sucks.
promo thing.
I wish they had
also-
it for World Time Attack promo. That's what.
Yeah,
That's what I
well,
was
and More
expecting.
Time Attack's probably the one of the few places that actually be allowed to compete because it's, it's a car of the future, so it's a tube chassis car. So, yep. I am going to go with Adam Monk as my number one.
Yep. Because
I'm a bit offended on Ben's behalf about saying that Troy and Ben are basically interchangeable. Because as a second brother and Ben being a second brother, we all know the second born is better. So take from that what you like. I'm just not sure Shane's going to do that great. I think he did well in the
Shane's
past.
aggressive. He is.
Yeah, he's a really aggressive driver, but again, like he really hasn't drifted in the last little while.
Man, I think any driving like his
No,
level
of course.
driving,
But
even though he's not like massive amounts of angle, he is still steering, and I'm pretty sure he is like slightly drifting in some of the corners that he's doing.
Yeah, but I think it's more the fact that it's been so long since he's drifted, and the fact that the guys on this list aren't necessarily slouches and have been continuing to drift.
I've rarely actually seen that Zed actually used in anger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, look, I've shit talked him.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna throw some love behind Jakey boy and hope that he comes through with the goods.
I reckon Shane is gonna get himself in a spot where it's gonna knock himself out. So he's gonna go way too hard, too close, and then have to bail or knock himself out somehow.
Yeah. But he has driven that track before, and he was driving the Drift Syndicate VE Commodore. So.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll go with our boy Jake Jones and hope that either the BMW works really well, and he drives well, or he kills it before he comes up and he brings the 13. All right. Into Pool D. Here's where I'm gonna absolutely butcher some names.
Oh yes, go for it, Greg.
Is the first one Japanese or is he the Chinese guy?
Japanese.
Well, it looks
You're being
Japanese,
serious
but
or
I'm
not.
no, I'm being serious, but I can't remember what car that guy. Oh no, I know there was a
FD.
couple of. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Now I'm on the same page. Yeah, now I'm gonna stop being an idiot. Impossible. Koji. Koji. I don't know. Can you? All right, that's me done with pronouncing names.
No, yeah, keep going.
Kitagawa.
Yeah,
That was that
that's
good.
pretty good.
That's
pretty
good.
good. Yeah,
Um,
it's
That's close enough.
We'll be
good. I like
driving.
how you added a letter in the first.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
what white people do. He will be driving Cliff Clayson's FD RX-7, the same one that Drift Samurai. See, why doesn't he have just a generic sort of easy, stupid name to say like Drift Samurai? The same car Drift Samurai drove last year. And then Ken Wen Kwan.
I don't know, you have to
will
ask
be-
Steve about that one.
I
I
can't.
think Steve's frozen though.
Malaysian, not
Jesus.
Asian. God.
Jesus.
What language do they speak in Malaysia?
Bahasa Malay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And what else?
So it looks like Ken will be driving a GT86. What it's powered by
LSA.
an LSA. So for people like EG who don't know what that is, that's a factory supercharged LS motor.
Man, I've been trying to
But-
research this dude, and he's really hard to find any information on, other than the time attack post.
Yeah. So he hasn't been driving D1NZ then.
Ken Wingquan. I think that's how you
You
say
probably
it.
you probably need to type his name in Chinese. How would you do that?
Okay. I'll find Google Translate. Get stuck into that.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, actually, you know who I yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Masashi Yokoi is driving his S15. Is that still SR powered, Jake, or has he moved to JZ?
That's 2J.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
the,
after,
It's been
That's
2J
the
for
FD car, isn't it?
ages.
but didn't he stayed SR in FD? Didn't he, or did he go 2J in it at FD?
Nah,
I'm pretty sure it's 2J.
2J. It's
Yeah,
the FD
that's
built car.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's what it was, but I think for his stuff in Japan, for a while, he was still running SR, right? Or has he always been 2J? I can't even remember.
His MCA cars are all SR, but I'm pretty sure that D Max
The
car
D1,
for the last
yeah.
few years
Yeah,
Is
has
okay.
always been 2J.
2J, yeah.
And then Brad Tui's got his twin supercharged GT86, and then Josh Botcher in his pretty sure NASCAR powered V8 S15, and he's off the back of a podium at High Tech, and I think he also did Drift Masters if I'm correct. So yeah, pool of internationals in that one, and then a couple of local boys who have done fairly well over the last couple of years. All right, you want to go first, Jakey?
Yep. So my number one pick is Yokoi.
Yeah. I figured.
No
If he doesn't
surprise.
drive through someone.
Yep, no surprises there.
Yeah, I had a quick look up of Koji and Ken, and I couldn't really find too much. I saw Koji at, not even gonna give you the satisfaction. Driving FD Japan, and I don't know, it didn't really stand out for me too much.
Well, it's
His
also a borrowed
FD.
car, so
But yeah, my number two pick's gonna be Brad, just because of his bad luck last year.
You mean his car?
And 8.6,
8.6.
even though he's got a bloody stupid LS in it.
well, there's two LS 8.6s in there, mate. No love for the Chinese.
No, I went Brad over him because of his bloody mishaps last year. His
Yeah, but you
bad
could
luck.
have left Masashi out, and
I'm not going to go two bloody LS cars, Greg.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, Stevie boy.
So is Kitagawa driving that RX-7? Every
Yep.
time I've seen it at Time Attack, it never runs properly. Like he'll make it through the first one or two corners
I'm
and then it
pretty
just
sure-
loses a rotor.
I'm pretty sure when you say every year, I'm pretty sure last year was the first time it was fresh rebuilt and there because we had seen it at its
What?
first hit out.
Why do you always have
to,
to pick on the small things? But it's the one that wasn't running right, right?
Yeah, pretty
Alright.
much.
Look, if he's driving that, then I'm writing that off. I know. I have no faith. I have no faith in
Right.
rotors. Full stop. So that's that one out. I wish I could find out more about
Ken.
Ken,
Yeah.
because I'd be really interesting to see what their style of drifting over there is. Actually, to be honest with you, like, because I've seen Malaysian drifting and that's actually pretty terrible. So if you think Chinese and Malaysian are the same, but
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's been driving D1
China.
China. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's like a Japanese influence, sort of.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got these, I think.
Well, you have to if you're in China. to
Yeah,
have a
definitely.
car.
Yeah.
Normally I like picking random ones, but I haven't got the feel for that one. So I'm gonna gonna follow with everyone else with Yokoi.
Yep.
And behind Tui and Botcha, it's gonna be Tui's a really sort of methodical dude. And Botcha, I haven't really seen that much of his stuff, to be honest with you. Like he's like I'm pulling an EG here. He's mainly up in Queensland, isn't he?
Yeah, remember you watched him run into a wall in front of Mick Rosenblatt as you judged him last year.
Yeah, right. That shows you how
It
much
didn't
of an
really-
impression.
Didn't really make a good impact on Steve.
Yeah, but I have seen his results. But I'm gonna stick with Tui. Just yeah, I'm with Greg. I'm sort of wishing him a bit of luck on that one.
You mean Jake?
God, it's the
my
small
middle name's
details
Greg,
with him.
it's right.
Man, you guys even look the same at the moment. Jeez.
No,
All you
waiting
white
that up.
people look the
Especially
same.
with a black shirt and a white sort of blob on your
Yeah,
shirt.
And the logo and everything.
Yeah.
I'm the fat
I'm
one with
repping
the,
Mez.
I'm the fat one with the big nose, and Jake's the skinny one with the big nose. All right, EG.
Me, Yokoi, just hands down. Like,
Yep.
I think so much more experience. I think, yeah, the one thing that will probably get him is he'll get a bit cheeky, and as soon as he makes that mistake, taking too much of a bite, that's when he'll fuck himself. But
Or he breaks his car.
man, just like what Steve said about that RX-7, and hasn't been running right for a while. I think
He brought
over
it to
a year.
one of the. He drove it at one. Cliff drove it at one of the rev days, and
Yeah, I almost
I think
crashed
it
into
drove
him.
all right off. Yeah, it drove all right during there. All right, we don't
Yeah,
have to turn
that's
into a
good
full blown
driving.
shit talk session.
It always seems weird when some people,
Alright,
other people
Cool.
drive
This
right
is this
at
is
work.
predictions, not how awful a car is. Next choice, please.
Yeah, but that's
Evie.
just like experience. Next choice, just be quick. I don't think the Chinese do.
Yeah, I
just
think
don't
that's
know
a
anything
fair.
about him.
I think that's a fair call, to be honest.
Good job, Steve.
And Brad Tui, he's had issues with his car as well recently. Like, I don't think I've seen it run well since before last World Time Attack.
All right, again, not a situation where we need to talk shit about.
He says he got sorted. I talked to him on the weekend. He says, "Yep, it's all sorted now. It's good to go for World Time Attack." So, but yeah, again, just history-wise, that sort of thing.
All right, for me, Yokoi number one. I'm just gonna follow the trend. And second, I'm gonna say Botcha. For me, toss up between Ken and Josh. I was gonna potentially take the gamble on Ken, but you've done it, so I'll take it on Josh. His results of the last round of high tech were good, and I feel like the entry for at least the entry part of South Circuit is fairly similar to the entry for QR. It's just how you drive out of the corner is different. But I think the entry is really similar. Tight corner, one direction. So I think Josh will potentially do really well, and he looked comfortable he always looks more comfortable in the 15 than he does when he jumps in the strawberry faced 180. So I think he prefers the V8 over the SR. You're getting stalked there, Jake.
What?
You
Oh,
got
my
people.
dog.
No, don't talk
Oh.
about it like that. You get in trouble.
Don't worry, you can't see it.
And yeah, for me, as much as I love Brad, as EG said, he's just been trying to get things right, and I think he'll probably drive well, but I'm just not sure he's had the time in the car of late to compete with somebody like, with a Josh say. So, but I also think Ken, driving D1 China and being a rich Chinese dude's probably had a shitload of track time that most people don't know about. So, but yeah,
That'll be
for
an
me,
interesting group. Yeah.
yeah, Yokoi and Botcha for me.
It'd be funny if Yokoi gets knocked out.
Oh, but as you've said, similar situation to Nakamura. What's going to be the for what reason sort of thing? Like you're going to sit there and watch and then be like, it didn't have to be that way. Why did you do that sort of thing?
Yeah.
So, Pool E, Matt Van Kirk will be driving a freshly built 2J 180. Matty Hill had that X Hit and Run shell, and they've bought that and are currently trying to get a motor in it and running and all that. I think it was supposed to be ready for Marulin, then it was supposed to be ready for QR Matsuri, and they're still working on it. Glenn Ormerod will be driving the Shannon's Rob White prepared 350Z. Mitch Pullen will be back again for his second competition ever in the supercharged V8 Hilux that he drove down from Queensland last year. Angus Kidd will be in his 2J NOS sprayed Supra, and Warwick Hill will be in his 4-door E46 2J powered BMW. You want to go first, Stevie? Do you need any extra informations?
Yeah, tell me a bit more about the first guy.
Van
No,
Kirk?
sorry. Look, Glenn in his K70 is a machine, but his driving reminds me a lot of Dale campaigns, and that he does all the points that he's meant to, but it doesn't really snap. Like, it doesn't really jump out your driving sort of thing. Mitch Pullen, I really enjoyed watching him because it just sent it. There's no other word for what he was doing last time I saw him out on track down there. Angus, I know he's done a lot of work with the Supra. I just haven't seen him recently. And the BMW, same sort of thing. It's actually a sort of a hard one to actually pick for me, these ones. So I'm gonna go with Mitch Pullen.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
I
and-
really, really liked his driving last time. Like, I know it was mental, but I just thought
Yeah.
it was cool. It was good to watch.
Logan's thrown out a correction. It's naturally aspirated LS7 this year because I think he just wanted a change. But
Yeah,
I don't
fair.
think that really makes a difference.
The next one.
So is he going your number one as Mitch, or are you just that's just one of your options?
That's just one of my options.
Yeah.
Do we know if Glenn's had seat time in the Z?
I'm not sure.
That's what I was wondering as well.
Well, he's just logged in. I'm not sure if he's still there. Hopefully he's still there. If Glenn can comment to say whether or not you've actually driven the car yet, and if and when you'll actually get to turn some laps in it, would be good. I'm not sure how delayed we are tonight though. So
Yeah.
who else are you thinking in that group? If it's
It's actually going to be Glenn. Still out of just because there we go. He's getting practice on Thursday.
Wow.
all right, my
Man,
prediction is my prediction is Glenn wins the whole fucking event.
All right, I'm picking Glenn, and you better not let me down, buddy, because this pool means everything.
Yeah. All right, Jakey.
All right. So I reckon Matt Van Kirk. They should have rigged it so Matt Van Kirk and Jordan were in the same pool. But anyway, I'm gonna go. My number one pick is gonna be Glenn because he beat me. And my second,
Beat you?
he beat me at Super Drift.
Oh, okay. Sorry, not the way I thought.
That was
Not-
that was only
not
just.
Jordan
That was a really close battle.
Alright.
I actually remember that battle really clearly.
That was shit. That was just shit judging, though.
Anyway, you haven't really seen much of Angus lately, except for that massive skid that went viral. But yeah, I'm gonna go Warwick. Another sympathy vote.
Sympathy vote.
Yeah, like Brad. So
Sympathy vote.
All right, EG.
Me? Oh, this one's
Yeah.
a tough group. I think anyone in this could actually. I can't see a clear advantage out of anyone in this group because you've got a lot of cars that are just being built or not much time. Because Matt Van Kirk isn't driving one of his cars. I'm pretty sure it's one of the Running Hearts cars.
Well, it's literally just it's being built as we speak.
Yeah.
They're chasing a sump over the weekend, I'm pretty sure. So,
Glenn is in
or
another
the weekend before.
loan, borrowed, however you want to put it. Like it's given to him, but in not
Yeah.
his car. Mitch Pullen, he with him, I don't think he has the type of experience at this sort of event. Like I know he does lots of laps at Queensland, but I think they're different to South Circuit. So
You can definitely see the Queenslander in his driving. I tell you what.
yeah, and then Angus is actually pretty cool when I watched him out of Wakefield. So, but again, he's another guy that has car problems, and like the car starts breaking down, or he might crash the car. It's Warwick's just got his new ECU together, so I think his car's being put back together at the moment. So
Yep.
they're all really closely matched. I think it's really hard to pick two. I think.
Well, you got to.
Yeah, I've got to. I think I might. I think I'll go for Mitch Pullen as number one.
Oh, alrighty.
And Angus
Nice.
Pearce
These are not the
as
way I
number
thought.
two.
That's not. All right. These
think-
weren't necessarily the direction I thought these
No,
were
'cause,
going to go.
I think Mitch might pull something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, he's probably the dark horse out of everyone. Probably, yeah, experience-wise.
doing the
But,
Steve again.
So my head's sort of at Matt Van Kirk's car is brand new, completely untested. I think there's going to be some sort of issues still going on there. So for me, not necessarily in the picture that much, and that's not talking too much about the guys putting that car together. That's just what happens when you put together a car. Glenn, that car, I know last year it had some small issues, but hopefully they've got on top of that. And it's Glenn. He's drives pretty much anything, and he drives it well. I know he's driven one of Yates's cars previously, and there's been videos that haven't, that have come up, but I know it's only been slow stuff, but he looked good in that. He's driven a street S14 and done some practice in that. He had a AE86 that he was doing a crap load of wet pans and some other style of practice in, and he's got his, he went down and hadn't track drifted or done sort of high profile drifting in I think over a year, and he showed up and won Drift Masters. So there's a reason he's driving. So Glenn for me is definitely still way in the picture. Mitch is super wild. That's just Mitch pulling for you. He doesn't care. He's there for fun. So I think that'll end up being why he doesn't end up doing all that amazing. Angus has been driving overall really well this year, or the last 2 years, really getting better and better. Again, as EG said, just small car things, but it seems like things have been starting to work for him. And then last year, just as was his car, kept shitting itself was just as Was started getting really good in that car. So for me, as much as I sort of want to put Angus down, I think I'm going to go for Warwick as my number 1. And Don't Let Me Down Was, and Glenn as my number 2. Just because I think Glenn will do well in anything, I think, as long as the car works for him.
Cool.
I think he's good enough to drive around whatever
Issues.
issues he has.
Yeah. And I really wish that he could get some more practice time.
Yeah.
Like maybe this weekend or the
Jesus.
weekend before. At least get some experience out of it.
Just a quick question for him, if he's still listening. Would you prefer to be doing it in his own car, or is he?
Oh, South Circuit, he'd get chopped up that hill, man.
Yeah, I know. I just as question of comfort, you know, it's whether it's what you know. But then again, you said, he's been driving everything else. But
yeah. And if he wants to do good, he's got to be in a car that can actually turn the tires and do all that. So, all right, into Pool F. This one's a little bit close to home for 3 of us because we have 2 of these drivers in a group chat. So we have Nathan Greenhill in his absolutely spastic, I would say one of the best prepared S15s in the country, if not the best prepared S15 in the country. With his RB, Jerry Zhu will be driving his S15. I'm not sure how recently he's been driving D1NZ, but I know he'd been driving D1NZ for a couple of seasons. Then Michael Bonney from Victoria in his 2J powered S15, sequential box, NOS, all those fancy bits. Blake and the wannabe vegan Patterson from the Marvel Drift.
Blake Patterson.
From up at Newcastle in his 2J, or he'll say it's a 1.5, but at the end of the day it's a 3-litre JZ powered S15, and I know he's been doing some work to that lately, and we've tried to get him on tonight, but he's claiming he's working on it, but I think he's full of shit. And then Mitch Jeffrey will be driving his 2J powered S13, and I know he's just done a gearbox conversion on that because his other one had a misaligned bell housing and kept shitting boxes on him. So hopefully on his first clutch dump, this one doesn't explode to pieces like the last ones were doing. Jake, you want to go?
Sure. So I just watched some videos of Jerry Zhu. He looked okay. There was nothing really too exciting. His entry was a bit boring, so it takes it away from me. I'm going to go with Nathan Greenhill as my number 2. And I'll go with Blake as my number 1.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Just because I did some things in Japan that I feel sorry for. So here's my sympathy vote again.
You didn't put in his bum again, did you?
No.
Oh, that's all right then.
Something like that, though.
Yeah. Made 2 people cry on the same night.
You're such a dick. All right, Steve.
Okay. All right. Well, I same boat actually, almost with Jerry. I just watched a couple of videos, and his leads were okay, but his chases are kind of weak. So that knocks him out. Well, look, compared to the other people that are in this list, I just like. I hate to say it because he's already got a fat enough head as it is, but Blake's definitely probably my number 1 pick out of that mob there. Just because I know he's always striving to improve. He's never just gone, yeah, no, I'm good at this. He's always going, no, I can always find spots to do better, and he always does it. So he's definitely one. Mitch, I don't know. When was the last time? I haven't seen Mitch out on track. Like he drifted with, he drifted with me at the Falcon.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
And but he had shit a box at that event too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So he's just driving in fourth, I think.
Yeah.
Breaking boxes.
I don't know. The whole time I've known him, since Oran Park days, he's had nothing but mechanical issues. That through what? How many cars he's up to? 3?
Yeah, but
3 different cars?
Well, he's got over the engine problems because he went away from the SR and he hasn't had any engine dramas since he's gone JZ. But yeah, that adaptive sort of kit cut and shut or whatever that Mitch was talking about in the comments, I'm pretty sure is the company that he got his from. So what's your prediction?
So I can't put Mitchell up there. Michael Bonney is consistent, but I like Nathan Greenhill's aggression, so I'm gonna have to go with Nathan Greenhill as well. Like, I like his driving. As long as he can, keep his cool, he's a really good driver. Yeah.
EG.
I watched Blake in Japan. He sucks. So he's not getting my number one vote. Oh, shit. Anyway, I think...
Didn't he get knocked out by a FD Japan driver?
I don't think it mattered. He's just shit.
I'm just having a second side dig, mate.
I just straight out, I'm just going to pick Nathan Greenhill as number one.
Yep.
Just those SA guys, really strong drifters, and especially with Stewie doing all these competitions and all that stuff there, I think he's going to be a standout. Number two, don't know enough about Jerry. Like, maybe he might work out here, but yeah, he doesn't look consistent enough. Again, Michael Bonney, I haven't seen him do. He didn't do too bad last year, actually. But other times before that, he sort of struggled with. It seemed to look like car setup, especially with the wide fab gear. He gets so much angle, and I think he slows him down like way too much. So, and unless he's made adjustments since then, I don't think he'll have the speed. The car definitely has the power. It's got all the gear, but I think there might be some setup issues with that. I think number 2 would probably be Mitch Jeffrey.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fast up the hill. And
fuck you, Blaken.
Yeah, I don't care about that guy. No, I think he's going to be fast up the hill, and it's going to be a key point. I reckon.
I'll get him some ice creams to make him feel better.
No, he only does the soft serve. He only likes the big fat.
So, and like, what happened last year? Was last year the year that Blake got that?
No, he didn't drive last year because he was double fisting some soft serves on the way up to watch the drifting. But the year before was when he had the misfire issue and ended up raining, and that helped him a little bit. But he probably needed to drive 10 minutes later, and he probably would have been able to do okay in that comp because it ended up wet the rest of the night.
Yeah.
That was the year that Fink was actually driving the AE86.
Yeah.
All right, so your predictions are Greenhill and Mitch Jeffrey. So for me, running through them, Nathan's had some car dramas with the 15 throughout the last little while. That I know that they're still, they've been trying to get on top of. I know the first round of this new season of Drifting SA, he drove the one of his 32s, street car or the missile car, one of those. He's been driving heaps, but sadly I think there's huge potential the car's going to let him down again. Still just trying to work out teething issues with that. Jerry, for me, has never really stuck out from the time that I've been watching D1NZ. Good driver, consistent laps, but just not that little bit of extra special that it sort of takes and against some of the guys that are in this group. Michael, every time I've seen him on something that isn't North Circuit, as EG said, just something just doesn't seem right about the car setup and too much grip and stuff like that. It just tends to almost be too much. I think on North Circuit where the car can sort of breathe and do its thing, it's sort of a good place, but South, I'm just not sure it's going to do that great. So because they're close to my heart, I'm going to say that Blaken's going to be my number one pick as long as his car works. And even if his car doesn't work, he's going to try and just destroy it anyway. So I think Blake will end up doing well. And now that Mitch has got the gearbox thing sorted, and it really was just literally an adapter plate that wasn't, or an adapter that wasn't, wasn't sitting quite right, that was killing boxes. So the car's exactly the same. It's just going to be a slightly different shift style for the box that he's running, but I think he'll do well, and he's driven heaps of laps on that track. So, Blake and Mitch fairly close together for me on that. But, yeah, for me, Nathan's definitely still on the edge of that, and that's, between those three guys, a fairly difficult choice. But I think 2S chassis will definitely make it through that group. And at least one S15.
Okay, next.
That's a smart way of going about it, right? In Pool G, Jesse Greenslade would be driving his S15. Bo Yates will be in his GT 86. Dale Campaign will be in a fresh liveried up his Swanvia, whatever you want to call it. His S13 with the 180 front. Mitch Doyle will be travelling down from Northern Territory in his, I'm not sure which car he's bringing.
Supercharged
LS S13. And then Jordan Graham will be in his full carbon fiber 180 SX. I'm pretty sure that car's 2J powered.
I think it's 2J.
Jesse's car, I'm pretty sure, is an RB, right?
I don't know anything about that car besides it's an S15.
RB30 with a 26 head.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So, yeah. All right, Stevie boy, this is all you, mate.
Still there?
Yeah. I'm just looking at videos of Jesse at the moment.
I think he's I'm pretty sure he's a pretty good driver.
Yeah, he's good.
He came 19th in D1NZ.
Yeah, but I think late in the season he started doing really well, or he had a few rounds where he did well, and then just other rounds where things went a little bit potato. So,
like he's definitely, from what I can see, he's definitely deserves to be here, but it doesn't.
Sounds like there's people that don't deserve to be here.
Yeah, that's for another stream. But I don't know. There's only two names that really scream out to me in these ones. It's pretty. I think it'd be pretty obvious. Like Bo Yates is almost a shoe-in, except for mechanical issues. And the second one, I hate picking, and I don't.
Just wait. Did you say Bo Yates and mechanical issue?
As long as he doesn't have mechanical issues.
When the hell have you ever seen had a mechanical issue?
Those cars like the freshest, newest, like well-sorted car.
Exactly.
I could say like if somebody hit Bo or something like that and that knocked him out or whatever, but I can't see his car not working.
No, because if he gets hit, he
that's
gets
fair
to pull shit off and then still come through smiling on the other side. Like, anyway, just But yeah, so this I don't want to pick him because I know he'll not do it. But I'm gonna go.
Bo. You're not gonna pick Bo.
No,
Okay.
no. I'm picking Bo. I'm picking Bo. But the second
fuck
one
Bo.
is what you do with Bo in your spare time. Your own issues. But I'm gonna go for Dale Campaign.
As number one.
As number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. Just because to see the best out of Dale, you have to rerun him. Like on his first runs out, it's just so vanilla.
I disagree.
Yeah, because
Nah,
Jake beat him in his rerun.
But look, I've seen a lot of battles with him, and yeah, like once you rerun him once or twice, you start seeing a bit of the flair come out. But until then, it's just really vanilla. But they're my 2 picks.
All right, Jakey.
All right. So, got to go 8-6, buddy. Bo Yates, number 1. Yeah, I haven't really seen much of Jesse. Mitch, I'm pretty sure this is Mitch's first World Time Attack.
Yep.
I'd like to see him go well.
Come on, as his fellow Northern Territory local.
Why do you think we have you on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. To diversify, I see. Yeah, I'd really like to see Mitch go well. Jordan, I've only seen a couple of clips, and his car is absolutely mental. I haven't really seen any like his car used in competition. Has he driven at Taylor in the SA series?
Yeah, and he did the last round of All Stars as well.
Okay, yeah, no.
He's done a couple of rounds of All Stars, I'm pretty sure.
Even though I'm apparently a top fan of that, I haven't watched any of it. Thanks, Facebook. So, yeah, I'll go Mitch as number 2. Just because, yeah.
Northern Territory,
Steve went Dale. Yeah, I'll go Mitch. I'll back him.
All right. Iji-san.
My turn. Out of this group, Bo, to me, he just stands out so much. All his experience and just driving, car setup, everything. He seems like the most sorted. I think just like the others, number 2 place is going to be hard. Like I'm finding it hard to pick between all the other guys. I don't really know much about Jesse, so I can't really comment. But Dale, Mitch, and Jordan, I could probably pick all of them to win in a different way. But jeez. I'd probably lean more towards Mitch and Jordan. Jordan's got a bit more of a Jap style, which I'd like, but I don't think it actually work for him. I think Mitch would actually, his car and his style probably work better at this circuit. So I'm gonna go for Mitch as my number 2.
Yeah, I'm similar page to you with my feelings about trying to pick for this group. Probably going to go the fairly safe bet. I'm going to definitely go Yates as my number 1, considering he was the dude who was testing this track for the layout.
So many times.
He was the one who tested it for the very first time ever.
Yeah.
He's done heaps of laps around it. And again, I'm not sure what drugs Steve's been smoking at university, but I can't see Bo having a mechanical. And I was going to go Jordan, but I think Iji's gone Jordan now, right?
No.
Oh, no, you ended up going.
Mitch.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you went with Mitch.
It's real close between Mitch and Jordan. Like 2 different styles. I think if it's a different course, Jordan would do better than Mitch.
Yeah,
Just
Jordan
this
was going to
course.
be my dark horse. I think the occasion
Dark
is going to
horse.
be.
No way. He's really good.
No. But like, I mean, for this group, like, I even think he could end up being above Yates. But I think the occasion might be a little bit too big for Mitch, and Mitch getting used to the track, and just Mitch just loves throttle and big angle, and I just
Well, that's what I'm
considering-
hoping, that he loves.
Yeah.
Because that's going to help you.
Yeah, but he's just gonna have to get used to the track super quickly, and I think that'll it's World Time Attack. There's just not enough practice laps. So for me, I'm gonna go the safe bet and have one of last year's top 4 and go with Dale. I think Dale's on a fairly hot streak. He's pushing hard. To me, he's improving every time he drives. Less vanilla every time he drives. And yeah, teaming up with Matt Harvey with trying to push for big things. I think those two guys will bounce off each other pretty well in practice. And if Matt starts doing well in practice and they're able to drive together, then I think Dale will probably follow suit. So yeah, Dale for my number 2 in that group. Last group, and this is a bit of an interesting group. Heaps of variety, and well, I think this group honestly is probably the most varied group out of all of them. I think behind, just ahead of Pool E in terms of diversity. Anthony Billick in his sort of mid 300 kilowatt SR20 S13. Mickey in the Dory Junkies prepared S13, so that's a fresh build, that one. Then Danny Probert in his XD Falcon with
Fantastic
Barra, right?
vehicle.
Yeah,
Barra. And then Brody Mayer from Tasmania in his S13. I'm not sure
800 horsepower. SR20,
Really?
SR24 vet. Yep.
Jesus
Have a look on his
Christ.
Instagram. It looks pretty cool.
Does it work all the time?
It worked when he was
I don't
testing
know.
it.
I only came across it today, and I put it in our group chat.
Holy Jesus. Well, that's fucking cool as. Very expensive, but very fucking cool. I've lost my page now because... Oh, and then last but not least in the whole event... sorry, just give me a second. Logan sending me videos.
What is it, of Brody?
Yeah. Holy
He's just
Jesus.
at Simmons.
Yeah, just smoking tires down the back straight.
Yep.
Sounds
And then-
sick as well.
And then Ben Meir, who's just got his car running again with
Today, wasn't it?
with
Yeah.
his Harrop supercharged LS prepared by
Sure.
by Aaron. So yeah, that's a really fresh car. So all right, Jake, you can kick off. You can kick off this last one.
Billick. I don't like his haircut. He's just dumb. Mickey. She does really well. I haven't really seen her driving other people's cars from her own though.
Yep.
So I'm not sure how she's going to go there. I wish Danny's driving was as good as he is as a person. He's like one of the nicest people you'd ever meet. Always willing to help a hand.
So he's like Northern Territory Drift Dad.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I don't know. He's just an all-round good bloke. So, Brody's car looks absolutely mental, as we were just saying. And Ben, I'd like to see how Ben goes with his newfound power. but I don't think he'll be able to make it through. So I'm going to go Mickey number 1, Brody number 2.
Oh. Yeah, this group's I think gonna be some interesting choices from our group here. All right, Stevie boy. He's too busy doing research. He's got NFI. What's going on?
No, I'm having a look through, and Billick, I don't like the sound of his car, so that's him out.
Have you heard the sound of his car?
Man, I'd rather
it?
go to sleep to that than hear bloody Billick's car. That's rancid.
Yeah, but at least you can breathe behind Billick's car, unlike yours, it just fucking spits all that oil smoke. So,
Man, it's my Greta Thunberg special.
you've stolen my childhood.
How dare you? All right. Danny let me down last year. I really like that car. And I don't know. Brody Mare, the stuff that I've seen, I actually looked at a couple of videos 1 or 2 years apart, and the difference is astronomical from like really tame, sort of dragging the arse entries into massive swing entries. It's actually, the videos I've seen so far is enough to put him number 1 for me. That's Brody Mare. And then Mickey, I haven't seen much. I should, but by the way you guys talk about her. And then there's Ben. Ben's another one that he reminds me a lot of Brad. Very, very methodical as well. I'm gonna give him a shot. I'm gonna go Ben. Just see if he's got it all polished down finally.
All right, EG.
Ben, I think he's left his car built too late. I think he's got it running, but he hasn't tested it. I think it needs a bit more work. Just assuming that it has just an engine upgrade, I don't think it's enough. I think he's going to find a few other problems because of it. Brody, that car looks mental, but I watch his in-car. I'm not too sure if he's going to be quick enough, like as a driver for that course. Danny's cool guy, cool car, still not enough seat time in that car. That car I think it's actually stored in Canberra, I think, and it's been here, and I think he might tweak a little bit, but he really needs to run that car like practice day after practice day, and then sort it out because it doesn't look like it's steering as he wants to steer. Mickey, the only thing I'm worried about Mickey is I don't normally see her on tracks this size. So the tracks that I've seen her drive have been fairly tight, small courses. She's been really good at those tracks, but yeah, I'm not. I just kind of wonder if she's going to feel kind of lost being in a track that's so wide.
Yeah, but do you think because South's nature is fairly tight and technical, you don't think that'll sort of bring in?
No, I don't think the criteria will be set well enough to force them into a particular line. I think they're going to be able to take a few different lines and do a few different funny things and get away with it because the courses that I normally see her drive on, whether it's in real life or on videos, they're pretty tight. They're like, maybe you can squeeze 3 cars into them side by side, but they're definitely like very, very tight courses. Not like this where you can fit eight cars along that, the width of the track. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. She's really a good driver. I think I've seen videos like she's been driving for such a long time. And then there's Billick again. I think he's been driving a long time. His style might actually suit this course. even though I don't like it. It actually will probably work out for him. I have a feeling. So I'm gonna pick Billy as my number one, and Mickey is my number two, in hopes that she gets used to the course and then sorts it out. As long as I really hope that she understands the criteria and how much what she needs to do and how much she can get away with.
And that the car works.
Yeah, she's been in borrowed cars before.
Yeah. Like my biggest concern always is when you're borrowing somebody else's car. Sorry, it's not even necessarily the fact that it's being borrowed. It's the fact that it's a newly put together car.
Yeah.
My head is all over the place with this group. Hey, Matt, if you can give me a reply on this, how long's Brody had that motor in the car? I'm pretty sure it looks fairly new. That would intrigue me because I think there's huge potential of a mechanical.
It's billet as well. It's the old MCA Hammerhead.
Well, I'm
engine.
not worried about it's necessarily
the engine, but
like,
like everything else, it could be like
grenading a motor, but like a misfire, or like just anything to do with
computer
having a car. Yeah, anything to do with having a car just running.
clutch.
Yeah, it was tuned on the
gearbox.
12th of June.
Oh, okay. So he must have run the last. No, because I
And
know
he had it apart on the 20th of July.
Because I know he did
What the hell?
okay at some of the DCA events. But yeah. Let me look at your guys. Oh, motor's very new. Only done the test day.
What are you
let's
thinking?
screw-
What are you thinking?
I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm always skeptical when it's a brand new put together car, and there's two of
Yeah.
them in that group.
Me too.
Sorry, three of them in that group.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
And then Danny for me just needs more seat time. I don't even think it's necessarily a car issue. The car seems to work pretty well. I just think he just needs to get.
No, I've seen videos of him in his other. It's another XD, isn't it?
Yeah,
MC.
barrel powered as well. It's just pretty standard though.
But that car, he
Just
looks like when he
works.
steers it, it does what he wants. Like this one, when he steers it, it looks like he's trying to push it around the corner or like get it to step out. It's really not smooth. Like you watch him and he's just like he'll suddenly be on lock and he'll suddenly snap back straight again, and then it's just not balanced. There's something wrong with it.
This group's gonna fuck me, and I'm the defending champion. I want Ben to do well because Ben's one of my boys. But Ben's car is brand spanking new, and I think
Ben and Brody together in that sort of.
If Ben was still in his NA car with only like the just over 300 kilowatt and ran 235 street tires, like not 235 street tires, ran 235 semis like he did the last time he drove that car at Drift All Stars at the end of last season when you were out there spotting for him and just giving him a whole bunch of shit. He started to look really, really good. But we know why he got a handle on that because he made some other changes to the car. Billick, I'm just not sure Billick's going to have the legs for this track, but then I want to put him up there. But I'm going to sort of, it's going to make me look like I've got the
safest car, I think.
Anthony? Yeah, but I think even speaking to him on the weekend, he was a little bit worried about being left for dead off the start line. So look, I'm gonna go Brody as my number one, and you know what? No, I'm gonna go Ben is my number 1 and Brody is my number 2, just to give me a differentiation, just as a differentiation to Steve. I'm just a bit skeptical of Mickey's car being newly put together and not necessarily. I don't know. Hopefully, it was shaken down at a QR Matsuri or at some other event. As you said, Danny's just still getting his head around that car. Really, I'm torn between putting Brody in or putting Billick in purely from a mechanical point of view. Because if that car works and he drives aggressive, I think he'll do really well in it. And I think Billick will just be Billick. So, and just hang lap after lap. So, yeah, but yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, anyway, that's all the pools. So
Yeah, as you said, Aaron, this is your school children trying to learn English, and that was EG writing
it's a spell
writing
wrong.
the table. So,
Is that it?
so
Is that better?
this is going to be interesting. So I think, yeah, as we've said, super interested to see what they end up doing. Hopefully, it ends up being. I don't even know how you'd. Yeah, I guess hopefully because they're talking about starting them down before the left-hander in front of the pit building. So hopefully they run it as two
lanes around the corner.
2 lanes around the corner, and the lead car's just got to run super wide, and but then also don't give them too much room to run wide out onto the pit exit, because that'll actually give them a better slingshot out of the corner.
I hope so when they do the judging criteria, Mackie sort of puts forward the entry style that they did Tita, where you could, before your entry, before your initiation, you could only turn in one direction. So say, for example, this course, you would only allow the lead car to move right and never left down the straight over the crest. So then that way you put them in sort of more towards the middle and the left, and you say the lead car can move right but never left, and then that way you can get a more even entry.
Why the fuck would it ever be anything other than that?
Oh, because you get other competitions where they do like big scandos in, or
yeah, but you can do a big. Well, yeah, I guess you could do a mini, like a small scando, but really you should be.
Didn't you see what all the guys were doing at Orlando in FD? They were like doing a mad scando towards the chase car and then going up on the bank.
Yeah,
it
but
just stops that.
But part of that is because of the fact that once you lose traction on some of those bankings, it also helps. You don't
want to hear your excuses.
You don't have to steer. You don't have to steer down the hill to make that happen. That just happens. Like even under that criteria, you could get away with doing that because you haven't steered in that direction. Just the wheels have gone there. So you could argue that point, really. But yeah, really they should be coming up mid-track and then point to the outside and throw it in. I know that they had talked about doing more corners this year, where I would have actually preferred to see them go. Fuck, I've been spending way too much time with EG, haven't I? Yeah, like for me, with the huge run-up, it's pretty much just turn 1 and then the outside of turn 2, and just at that stage, I think the battle's over, really.
And it's just a power match up the hill.
Yeah, like I think it's the battle's pretty redundant at that stage. What would be cool is if they put bloody concrete walls along the edge of the track for the entry, instead of bloody tire bundles and shit like that.
They shouldn't do that. You don't need them.
No, to make it cool, so you have like a big wall ride instead of wheels dipping off the track.
You need to add a corner into the before the crest then.
Why?
Because otherwise they're just going to go to the wall and just pull a handbrake and pull off it.
some will. Nakamura won't. People are going to do that anyway. Okay, like because having a wall there is going to make a difference.
Yeah, jeez. And then it's
Are
unnecessary.
we having a crack at outright winners at all?
Outright
Oh, we-
winners. We can
Oh
do
yeah,
that
okay.
if you want.
Well, see, my only so the reason we were sort of undecided about whether or not we go that direction, and you would, if you paid attention to our group chat, Steve. My question is, if say the two drivers from Pool A, are they going to be put on opposite sides of the battle tree, or is it totally random draw again? Because for me, they should just so if you're number one in Pool A, or whatever, like you're one of the drivers who are in A, one of the drivers who are in B, one of the drivers who are in C, you should be on one side of the tree, and then the second person in that group, on each group, be on the other side of the tree, so that you'll never verse the person in your pool again unless you make
the finals.
Yeah, unless you make the finals, or you're basically on the podium.
Which would make sense.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that's how it's done, but it's hard to make predictions without knowing that, because they might have to verse each other straight off the bat, and that would totally change who ends up actually
Should be
who
on
makes it
separate
through.
sides.
So
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
we
mean,
can
just a pot shot at
Yeah,
overall winner.
Okay. go for pot shots at overall. Yeah, let's go pot shot on winner, because it's too hard to do top three, because we don't know how they're gonna structure the top 16. All right, who you going for, Steve?
You can do 1, 2. Doesn't matter.
But 1, 2, that could be within a group, and then you've killed yourself. So
No, it's fine.
why? We don't know how they're going to be matched up. They could verse each other in the top.
We have
Your
no
top
idea,
two
we
could
have
verse
no
each other.
idea if the person that we're picking is going to make it through anyway.
All right, so go top 3 then.
Top
Let's
three?
go.
Why do you guys have to make things difficult? Just pick.
Because it's called logic, mate. Hey, EG, can you bring that thing up again so I can remember who I picked?
Really?
No,
Alright.
I'm fucking serious, mate.
Alright.
All right.
If you paid attention in the
top
group
3.
chat, there was one in the group chat too.
No, the one with our predictions on it.
Why do you need to say that again? All right.
Because I didn't know who I picked.
I don't know. Our last top 3.
You're the one who
All right.
suggested it.
No,
man.
I've got
You
a
guys don't know.
number one. I've got a number
Okay.
one.
Who's your number one?
which I'm gonna go with Nakamura.
Yep.
Yeah. God, number 2 and 3. This is gonna be a really lame choice, but it's what I feel is gonna end up on the podium. I'm gonna go Andy, then Yates.
I have a feeling Jake's going to pick similar ones to mine.
All right, Jakey.
It's similar to yours. Ooh.
I have a feeling.
I'm going. Do we have to choose people that we've already chosen, or can we
That doesn't
just
matter.
choose?
No, you can just
Okay,
do
cool.
it.
Oh,
Pick pro-
I'm going Yokoi. I'm going Yokoi.
Yep.
What's the? Yeah, I want to know how the tree goes. I'll go Yokoi, and then Andy will be up there as well. And yeah, I'll go Yatesy. Pretty much the same as Steve,
Yeah.
except with a better Japanese driver.
So is that the same as yours, EG?
Pretty much.
All right, go on, EG boy.
Yokoi Yates, Andy.
Wonder if I should just go a little bit more left field.
Jerry Zoo.
Jerry Zoo,
Billy.
not Ken.
I was gonna go Jai as my first pick,
Jai. All right.
Mitch
Provided-
Sanders is your second.
provided as he doesn't spin. No, Mitch Sanders is going to come fourth. He's going to lose twice. Fuck, I wasn't prepared for this.
Oh,
You had the most time out of all of us, mate. Come on.
yeah, you research the most, and you have so much free time compared to the rest of us.
Yeah. Don't even start me, mate.
All right, I'm going to go Matt Harvey for the win.
V.
You better not have
Oh.
jinxed him.
No,
Yeah,
mate.
Greg's normally the reason that he loses these things.
Yeah.
EG does a pretty good job as well.
Nah, fuck Matt.
Well, okay. Depends how they structure this shit, because this will fuck my predictions up if they end up having to verse each other.
No, I would say that's so dumb if they had to, because they'd verse each
Yeah.
other in the pools already.
Yeah. So my I'm gonna go Ben Jenkins in third, but for second, I'm trying to decide whether I go Andy Gray or Yokoi, because I think they're interchangeable depending if Matt and Andy have to verse each other at the start of the fucking top 16, because they're in the same group. So
Hopefully common sense prevails.
yeah, I hope so. So I guess I'm gonna go Yokoi just to avoid having, in case they do some sort of weird shit with the pools, as my second place.
Delete that. Now you can see it. Okay, cool. Does that look good?
Looks good.
Fucking brilliant, mate.
So it looks like the favourites, just at a quick glance, is Yokoi. Who else is there?
Andy,
Yeah,
Andy Gray.
Yates definitely is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones with a score of 4, I guess.
Who's okay for people? Now go one complete dark horse that you think.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I was thinking.
It doesn't have to be somebody that you've picked, but this could be your like massive bonus point, like 1 million point person. This is that one random person that you think might win. Could just randomly take it. I'm gonna go first on this. I'm putting Blaken down as my absolutely random person to win.
Oh,
Oh, I wanted that one. No, not really.
Yeah, my other person would be Glenn, as Logan has said, but that's why I predicted him to make it through.
dark horse.
EG chooses Finney.
No, I got Jake Jones.
You didn't even pick Jake, did you?
No. This is dark horse.
Yep, that's fair.
Yep.
I got Ken.
Ooh. That's
It's just like he's like no one knows him. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Seems fair.
I'm going Dale.
Yep.
I like Dale. He's a good bloke.
As a dark horse.
Well, I haven't chosen him, so for anything else.
Yeah. Okay. I think you're all right.
It's a pretty boring
Yeah.
fucking choice, mate, but okay.
What?
Because he's
Yeah.
beaten
He
me.
chose Jake Jones.
All right. Well, in a week or in 2 weeks, we'll
Yeah. That'd be cool.
we'll know our winners.
Yeah, and I'll put up. I'll make a scoring thing like last time and see how we go. See if Greg wins again.
Yeah. Yeah, these pools this year have been fairly interesting. So yeah, we'll see what happens. At this stage, I'm not going to be out there at all. I'll be watching via live stream. But yeah, we shall see. Anything else you're looking to cover about the event, EG? Or time attack? I don't think there's anything else really. I think, yeah, it's just really a matter of, you're spotting for somebody, right, EG?
Yes.
Are you for Blake? No.
I want to know now.
Yeah, he hasn't chosen him.
You're spotting for Blake, right? Yeah, you're spotting for Blake.
Yeah, and I haven't chosen him.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
Yeah, that's the reason he hasn't chosen him.
I had a couple of people ask me to spot, and I'm not around, so it's probably good for them, really.
I'm gonna rig it.
Yeah, so that motherfucker better win. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get some inside info from EG from a briefing point of view. Maybe if you can even take some briefing notes and shove them up in the community page, so that when people are watching, they have a rough idea on what they're watching.
Yeah, from past experience, what they say in briefing,
I understand
I
that,
don't think it actually.
but just give us something, because I'll be wanting to see it anyway.
Okay.
And then yeah, we'll do a bit of a debrief the weekend after.
Okay.
The week after the event.
I'll post this up actually, so then
Yeah,
you can look at it
then
again.
people have it. And then I've been in
I don't
contact
think
with.
anyone cares about our opinion, but
That's fair. No, I think Logan means he wants a picture of just the draw itself, like you've done, not our bullshit on it too. Michael from Driftbit's been in contact, and we will be lining him up to come on the show in the next couple of weeks. Not even EG knows this yet.
What's that?
Michael from Driftbit.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know.
Will be wants to come on. Sounds like he's got some news. He was using their latest version at Winton on the weekend before he free boosted the SR and made it vape like a champ. So he's got some news on that. So he's trying to decide whether he wants to come on before or after he goes out to Mount Gambier and tries to get the device in Adam LZ's car.
Just a quick update as well. John Dreyer has no engine in his car at the moment either. So he's amongst the rest of the drifters.
It's an SR, it'll be alright.
Jesus.
Fuck, can I change my vote to Aaron?
He
literally just posted a picture with literally no engine in the engine bay in his car. All ready for time attack.
Probably done that. He probably did it while he was watching the fucking live stream too, because he was on it. Motherfucker.
Could have done that earlier.
Yeah, fuck you. So in a couple of weeks we'll have Michael on as he's viewing at the moment, and then we probably won't have another guest for months because EG and I are fucking lazy.
Yeah, it's been that way, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been one of those years. Anything else? Or are you happy to? Oh fuck, we're in mid-October already.
I know, it's almost the end of the year. Jesus. Okay.
So, anything else?
That's about all I can find.
Yeah. So it was good to have Australia's current best drifter, Jake from the Northern Territory, on. One of Australia's former best drifters, Steve Pembry. I said former, and that was like when shit was easy back then.
Lots easier.
If you could afford a pair of new tires, you pretty much outgripped everybody.
Mate, you just let everybody else spin behind you and you're sweet. That's how you do it. That's how you won your first comp, was it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm going to say about EG, one of Australia's most
Vocal drifters.
Vocal.
Vocal.
I don't know.
Controversial.
No way, because Stewie talks fuckloads.
But it's Stewie.
Yeah, I don't know enough
He-
big words to describe your indiscretions
Concise. There we
about other
go.
drivers.
He's a concise drifter.
I don't even know what that means. Did you see me try and
Wears a
pronounce
collared
Japanese?
shirt.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really like to explain stuff. He just says it's either shit or it's not so shit.
Doesn't deserve
and
an
then-
explanation. That's why. You figure it out.
And then as for me, well,
I skate.
I'll let my face speak for itself. You know, it's almost been a year since the car was stolen. Like a year ago, yesterday was the last time I think I drove the car.
Yeah, because it's World Time Attack.
Yeah, it was when I got told that it was taken,
Yeah.
but I think World Time Attack's a week later than previous or something like that. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, shit, it's already been a year. That's scary how fast time has gone. So yeah, that's why we don't get guests, because we plan on doing it next week, and then a year goes past. Look, Steve's fucking 55 and still at uni, so
Eh,
He doesn't
Jake,
deny it.
okay.
Jake's just had his 7th 21st birthday, and he's
Starting
like,
to
I'm
grow
not quite
hair
that
in
old
his
yet,
chin.
but
Slowly moving downwards. We'll get hair down there eventually.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's definitely down there. Beat gets a good usage.
On
Oh,
that
I
note,
thought you were talking about your toes. All right. Well, let's sign this off before. Well, most people will probably stop listening anyway. All right.
Yeah, they
Well, let's
have.
sign this off, and we'll catch you guys on the next week.
All right. See you guys.
the dirties.
Bye.
I'm not ready to change this yet. Hang on.